In this video I'm going to compare the Shinko 540 DC against the Shinko 520 DC. So I've already made a couple of videos regarding the Shinko 520 DC, which you can see here. I found it to be an excellent all-round off-road tyre, and it wears very well too. But I thought it'd be interesting to compare it to the Shinko 540 DC. As you can see, the Shinko 540 has a much more open pattern and is better suited to very muddy conditions. Whereas the 520 DC, the space between the blocks is closer and the block size is also larger, making it more suitable for all-round conditions, including rocks and roots. So the space between the knobs on the 540 DC measures about 50 millimeters, and on the 520 it's about 35 millimeters. So quite a big difference there. And the block width is also somewhat different. So the 540 blocks are quite narrow and measure just over 15 millimeters compared to the 520, which are about 20. Regarding tyre wear, the 540 DC I've actually used this once. I used it in a hard enduro race, which was 3 hours. Very muddy conditions, and as you can see, it's hardly worn at all, so pretty pleased with that. I do know that they wear very badly if you use them on the road, so I certainly wouldn't recommend them for that, and I don't really consider it a good all-round tyre, and I wouldn't use it for regular day rides. I think it would wear out pretty quickly. Today Phil and I at round 5 of the GNet All Japan hard enduro race. This is the second to last race, and it's been raining for over 24 hours now, and as you can see, the course is a complete mess, and quite a few guys having problems, including myself, getting up this spot, but it's really good fun. And this is a Shinko 520 DC, which I've used for 8-day rides now. As you can see, the block height is still reasonably tall. The leading edges are quite rounded. The trailing edges are still quite sharp. And the block height has worn down a bit. I'm probably going to use it a couple more days and then replace it with a new one. But I'm pretty pleased with the wear. And here you can see a summary of the two tyres. So the durometer is the hardness of the rubber, and the lower the number, the softer the rubber. And the DC tyres, meaning dual compound, have a different compound in the centre knobs compared to the outer knobs. So the centre knobs measured 42, and the outer knobs were a little harder at 60. And the block height on both tyres was the same at 16.5 millimeters. And the weight was slightly surprising. I was expecting the 540 DC to be lighter, but it was actually slightly heavier at 6.7 kilos. So in summary, if you're doing a muddy, soft condition off-road race, I think the 540 DC is an excellent condition. You can run it at really low pressure using tubeless, and you'll get really good traction. The 540 DC I can highly recommend for all-round off-road use, including race use if there's more rock and the conditions aren't so muddy. But either tyre, definitely worth checking out and trying out if they're available in your area.